Hi, my name is Cameron Hill. I did my term project on Advanced Auto Parts store in Ludington, Michigan 5855 with General Manager Cy Brandt. I have been working at Advanced Auto Parts now for 3 years under Cy Brandt's watch, and he has been one of the great general managers to work for in the Advanced Auto Parts district. I have worked up here in Big Rapids at the store a couple times with a different general manager, and I can honestly say I didn't like it as much. Now, I asked Cy Brandt, who's been doing this for 6 years as a general manager, what he does differently to make everything easy work environment for everyone. And Cy said that there's a lot of things that he does differently than most people to make a general manager look good. And I said, what's your secret? And he said, my secret simply is to be honest with everyone and be a friend before a coworker. And Cy is a great friend. Honestly, he's a great guy, does everything and always bend over backwards to help you. Cy has always bent over backwards to help me with my schoolwork and working around my school schedule just so I can still work for him on weekends. Now, I asked Cy in depth what he does on a day-to-day basis that's different from what a part-timer does on a day-to-day basis. And he said, what I have to do on a day-to-day basis very well differs from what a part-timer has to do because I'm in charge of the whole store. And to be in charge of the whole store, he has to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning, clock in at 7:30, and get all the cash registers ready by 8 a.m. for a part-timer to sell a part. I come in at 8 a.m. and all this is already done for me. And so I asked, in that half an hour, do you have any paperwork that you have to go over? And he said, there's paperwork constantly that has to go over. And that paperwork has to deal with inventory, transactions during the day, parts sold during the day, warranted items, and discontinued items that we've sold and weren't supposed to sell, and stuff like that. Now, what I've learned from him is that on-hand accuracy, which is 97% at the Ludington store and one of the highest in the districts for inventory, is very important to him. Inventory makes customers happy. When you have a customer that comes in, you have the part they need right away, they're definitely going to be happy. And even though maybe it's more money than at Advance than it is down the store at AutoZone, they're still happy that you have the part in stock, ready to sell them, and ready to give them right away. Now, every customer that comes in the store is different from the one before. Customers never need the same thing. One could need brakes, one could need an oil change, and one could need a battery. That's the nice thing about working at Advance, is it's different for every customer that walks in your door. Now, Cy was explaining to me that even though he's a general manager, he still likes dealing with customers, and that is a day-to-day basis thing for him, is dealing with customers, helping them with their issues, teaching them how to install a part, how to do it the right way the first time so they're not back 6 or 7 times, even though we do like to see repeat customers. Now, Cy said when he's looking for employees, I asked him what he looks for in employees. And he said when he's looking for employees, he looks for hard workers that can get along well with other team members, willing to work, willing to show up, willing to pick up extra shifts, willing to do anything that he's looking for them to do, willing to clean, they're just willing to go above and beyond normal expectations of a part-time employee. This was all during a sit-down conversation, and then I asked him if I could do a follow-up interview over the phone with him on business ethics in the Advanced Auto Parts company. Now, I asked Cy if there was anything unethical he knew of that goes on Advanced Auto Parts in his store alone, not as a whole company, because as a whole company, I'm sure there's some things unethical that we do, but he doesn't know of. But as far as Ludington Advanced Auto Parts store goes, the unethical thing is employee discount. Each employee or team member gets a 20% discount on all parts and all floor items to be used for immediate family and themselves only. And I personally know I have let my friends use my discount, ex-girlfriends and things like that, that was to help them out and save them a little bit of money, being a nice guy that I am. But it is unethical to take advantage of company policy. And I know that for a fact I'm not the only one that has done that, or the only one that will do that. Now, Sai even admitted to me that he's done it a couple times, and it's not right, but it's kind of hard to stop. I asked Sai, as a company, do you know how Advance gives back, or if they do give back? And he said they do give back. Sai was in the Marine Corps for 25 years, and he said that one thing Advance does really well is military givebacks. And I asked him how do they give back to the military, and he goes, we have a thing here called the military discount, which everyone who has served in the armed forces and served for our country gets a 10% discount on anything, just kind of like the employees do. But as long as they can prove they were in the military, we give them a 10% discount, no questions asked. I thought that was really cool that we do give back to armed forces and anyone that was willing to serve for our country. And me and Sai talked about how we wish it was a bigger discount, kind of like the employee discount, for someone who doesn't make as much as they should to protect our country. Now, the other thing Advance Auto Parts does is JDRF shoe sales, which is Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And we sell shoes in $1 bills, or $1 shoes, $5 shoes, $25 shoes, $50 shoes, and $100 shoes. Most shoes that are sold at the counter are $1 to the $5 shoes, but we do have local shops that'll chip in and purchase the $50, $25, and the $100 shoes for a good cause. I found out that in the 3 months we do JDR shoe sales, we normally raise around $1 million, and that goes all to JDRF Foundation for diabetes research. But I also found out another way Advance gives back to the JDRF is they use some of the profit that they make selling parts during those 3 months and donate it as well. So that is really cool that they can donate some of their profit to a good cause. Now, Advance has a big code of ethics policy that I had to sign when I got hired in, and it pretty much has about 10 main parts. Honesty is one of the big main parts at Advance. You have to be honest with all your customers, all your workers, and all the vendors that we sell parts for, and all other things like that. Advance is known as being one of the most honest parts stores across the county, and we have to deal with people on a daily basis, and honesty definitely goes far for a company. Another thing that's a part of the main criteria is fair dealing. Fair dealing is professional, and what it pretty much states is never take advantage of a customer, a vendor, or anyone in the company at all. They want you to be fair, and even though you might be right, they might be wrong, you still have to be fair to them. Now, there's also respect and teamwork, which is treat everyone how you want to be treated, treat them with dignity and respect, and then there's a fact of a safe and free workplace of discrimination and harassment that everyone prides themselves on. You also have to comply with the laws, of course. Advance applies with all federal and state laws and local laws, and then if there's any dispute, if they're doing anything illegal, they have it handled immediately by their lawyers. Accurate company records and public disclosure. All company records must be accurate, on hand, ready to give anyone who asks for them, well, with the proper clearance. And then no money laundering or laundering. Conflicts of interest. When doing deals for Advance Auto Parts, you have to have the conflict of interest that everything you're doing is great for the company and best for the shareholders. Shareholders are a big place in the Advance Auto Parts company, and you have to keep them happy at all times. Now, corporate opportunities prohibited. What this means is wrong use of company time and property. I know we have a lot of downtime at Advance Auto Parts, and it's easy to hop on the computer and look at Craigslist or what new cars are coming out in 2015 and stuff like that. But as a team worker or an employee, there's other things to be done than messing around on company time. Confidential information, that is pretty much a piece of paper that you have to sign that says anything at Advance that's not supposed to be left Advance, like selling advertisement and stuff like that, stays at Advance Auto Parts. Like, you can't go and tell everyone Advance's ideas for selling parts and getting people in the doors. The last part of this really is protection of company assets, which is protection for lost parts, damaged parts, loose parts, or waste, like how to keep people from stealing our parts, loss prevention, and stuff like that. Advance also has a report code of ethics, which means they have a couple different options if you can find out things that are bad in the company. Like, they have a hotline you can call that's completely anonymous, and you can say so-and-so at store 5855 is stealing parts or is not being productive during the day. They're using company time poorly. And I think it's a great way to report problems in the workplace without actually having to put your name out there and get in trouble yourself or feel awkward about hurting another employee's chances of working with the plant. Now, if you were caught violating, there is discipline actions that everyone can take. Like Sai said, when I asked him if he ever caught anyone violating, he said, yes, I have. And most of the times it leads up to a probation, like a 6-month probation, where anything that happens during that 6 month or you do wrong can lead up to a permanent termination of your employment at Advance. And some things lead up to a permanent unemployment right away. In summary, I learned a lot from all this, that there's more to Advance Auto Parts than I ever think I would have known if I didn't do research. I didn't realize how much stuff has to be done on a day-to-day basis for me to be able to sell a part to a customer that walks in the door. I didn't realize there's at least 13 sheets of paperwork that a general manager or manager has to go through each day just to keep our accuracy on hand. I didn't realize that a code of ethics can be taken away and fired right away. Other than that, I really enjoyed the opportunity to research farther into Advance Auto Parts. Thank you, Cameron Hill.